All right. This is the first podcast.
First podcast, but nerve-wracking.
Okay, number one, let's get it going. So, we didn't really prepare anything for today, to be honest.
Shit.
Um,
Sound effects. Okay.
good stuff. I like this one. But I think what we could chat about a little bit today is maybe just the journey we've been on with business, specifically where everything started, how we started, and the company we're building now and what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So kick us off there, Master Drake.
Fuck, bro. It's weird, actually.
What did you say was like the pivotal moment for us?
With what?
With business,
Kairos
like
or
with business in general. Like, what would you say was the pivotal moment? Like, where it became clear, okay, like, it's a game now. Like, this shit's easy.
I think for sure. The moment I realized it was properly possible was when we made a bit of cash with the dropshipping. I think seeing 5,000 like in a day and how scalable it was, I think that definitely switched my mind in terms of how vertical business can be. And it's not like you build a company and then in 10 years you get rich. Like with the internet, shit can happen fast, you know? And I think that was maybe the moment that showed me money is very easily able to be made, and it's possible. But I think that's maybe half the story. I think the other half of the story is, are we the type of people that will become successful? Do we hold the identity of entrepreneurs that supersede other entrepreneurs, and do we have what it takes, essentially? And I think that I truly realized when we had to go through these hardships. But I think also just seeing the complete calibration of all of our skills over the past years, I think seeing that all come together and intersect, I think that's also where I realized that it's not necessarily what we're doing or the game we're playing, but the player. And I think that for me is where it's clicked. I feel like way more superior in my mentality and my abilities to do things, my propensity for learning, as we've spoken about. I think that is the most defining factor right now.
Interesting. I would agree with the fact that the dropshipping definitely showed us the scalability of it. And I feel like it kind of pierced through this veil of making money online is fake, it's a fugazi, dropshipping's dead, all of that stuff. I think that when it comes to making money online, I think there's a big sort of leap of faith that you need to make. And then I think that it's not really, you don't really believe in it until you see it. And I think that we saw it and we saw the potential of it. And that's where both you and me, after the 3 years of and many countless years before that of doing all these different little things, marketing agencies and football leagues and you name it, seeing some real results in something really pierced that veil is how I like to see it. It's like that there was just, it was there, but it was kind of foggy, and then you pierce through it and it's all clear. And then it became a roller coaster effect of, I think mentality is the biggest. For me personally, mentality plays the biggest role in all of this. And we've spoken about this often, but 2025, my goal was to get control of my mind. And I think that you and me have been on a journey to control our minds, to be able to deal with the hardships that come with being entrepreneurs, like watching your bank account blow up because the fucking supplier sent you cotton instead of leather, and all of these type of things. You need to go through them if you're going to actually deal with millions, because sure, you can take 100,000 losses and you can watch that happen, but millions, you need to be ready, and those are the steps. And I think that the mentality shift was very big in that. And honestly, I think you and me are quite cocky and obviously always believe in ourselves. And I think that in business, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have that self-belief of going to be making it, going to be amazing, going to be successful, you won't make it. And it sounds cliche, but it's really, really true. And I think that us seeing that success with the dropshipping just solidified that in our minds. And there, I think, is where you and me dropped this idea that things were difficult.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we would watch like Alex Becker, for instance, and think, wow, amazing. This oak sold his company for 130 million and he's got a software company and all of these things. And it seems so far away. Like, how can you do that from the things we've been doing, marketing agencies and all of these other things, to having our own dashboard, to having our own software company, to having our own, SaaS.
Yeah.
So I think that really, pierced that veil of anything is possible.
And to have been able to do that within a month is also insane. But it's funny because when you were saying that, it just made me realize how I think we counted, we've done 8 businesses now together. Nine businesses we've launched, very different types. And it's funny because I think upon launch of every single business, we've said to each other, this is the one. This is the one. And the thing is cool, it may seem delusional, but if you don't view it as this being the one, then why are you doing it in the first place? If you don't genuinely believe that this is the thing that's gonna catapult you into the stratosphere, why would you do it? There is no reason.
Fair point.
You have to, and that's where I think the concept of self-fulfilling prophecy comes into play. Is you believe that it's the one each time until it is the one, and then it's true.
And I think that also good points about that 8-9 businesses that we built together. Individually, we've built more than that. Just in the past 3 years of being here in Maastricht, we built 8. I think that just shows, like, you watch these videos and all of these big entrepreneurs or mentors, they always go, it's a journey, and you fail a lot of businesses, and not every business is going to be the one where you make it, right? Exactly. And when you're in that process, it's kind of like you don't really know. You just think it's just the cliche thing that people say. It's like, what do you mean? And you carry on because you've got a drive for it. You don't want to fail. You want to make something of your life. And I think that with the rise of AI, it lit a fire under us even more, because now it's just scary of what AI is going to do, and either we get ahead of it or we fall behind. And I think we are on a journey to get ahead of it. And you in that, and then you hit something and all these little puzzle pieces start falling into place. And it's like, damn, it did take 9 businesses or 10 or 20 or however many we did. And that's just a big testament to just, if you have a belief and if you have a dream and if you have something that you want to follow, that you should follow it till it gets done.
To the fullest degree,
till it gets done.
And it also shows that, as we said, the stacking of skills over the years, over each business, it also, again, it makes you think. Now we've stumbled upon AI, and had we not failed those 8 times, would we be able to make the 9th succeed, right? It's like when we failed with the dropshipping, which is maybe that was our 8th or 7th, we weren't ready for success. Even though we tasted it and we were this close, we needed that one last failure to get to the 9th or whatever before we could succeed. And that, I guess, was the last little puzzle piece, as you say, in the skills and the lessons and development. And
I mean, I don't think that we would be where we are if it wasn't for that venture. I think that venture was very interesting and very revealing of also how we're going to be as businessmen and how we're going to, take on these hits and take on these challenges. And I think that for any young entrepreneur, I do think that unless you're starting something in AI, drop shipping or something along the lines of e-commerce and selling is a really, really good business to start in, because you get chucked into the deep end. Because you got to think about it from the consumer's point of view. A consumer comes onto your website through an ad and buys something. In their mind, to the people you're selling to, you're an established brand, you're an established business. They don't go and think, some people do and you don't make that sale. But when you're hitting 5K, 10K days and there's 70, 80, 100 people buying from you a day, those people all see you as an established brand.
Yeah.
Time it's two 20-year-olds not knowing what the hell is going on. So there you got to sort out your supply chain, you got to sort out your customer service, and that's how Kai was born, by the way. You got to sort out all of these logistical and business related things and very important factors that you don't consider unless you get chucked into the deep end. Like, we had to consider a lot of things, like six, 7 team members working under us, just to get this thing going. And that would have never taught us how to do everything that we're doing now. How to manage a team, how to, even just build Kai. The fact that we built Kai because of the issues we faced in the dropshipping. Like,
exactly.
There's a certain problem-solving skill that, like any muscle, needs to get trained. If you're not thrown into the deep end to solve problems, you're not going to know how to solve these problems. And you're also not going to see what problems could be solved by a potential business of yours,
Yeah, so in saying that, what do you see being the main problem we're going to face owning an AI software for the months to come or year to come?
If you're asking me, Mattia, like your boy, if you're asking me, I think it's going to be not being able to keep up with the growth. That's my personal opinion. That's one of these ones. At the clap. I don't actually know. One time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be not being able to keep up, honestly, with the workload, because I think that with the business model that we've created, that it's not just a cookie cutter, copy and paste automation for each company that you just sell over as a service. We as business owners are going to have to be very hands-on with very intricate industries like the public administration, like universities, like construction groups. And I think that for us, that is going to be the biggest challenge. Operationally, I think that it's kind of counterintuitive to be owners of an AI company and think that there are going to be operational hiccups that we're not going to be able to get over. Because I think that every operational hiccup that we face from now on is going to be something that we don't look at as, who do I hire? How do we fix? It's like, can we code this? Can we fix this? Can we make this something that will help us, and in turn something we can sell and probably integrate into other companies? So personally, I think growth. I think the market is on drugs right now with AI businesses, and I think that we're just throwing our hat in the ring. Yeah. What about you? What do you think is going to be the biggest issue?
I would say growth. Thinking about it right now, I don't know, I guess AI is kind of different because there was the SMMA bubble, which started I think like 2017, kind of around dropshipping, which was the drop servicing model. And
that was my first business. Servicing.
Crazy.
Drop servicing marketing anyway. Sorry, continue.
And I don't know, I feel like, as you say, cookie cutter, the SMMA was kind of very, how do you say that? Like, it was not very multifaceted.
Yeah, sedentary, just kind of the same.
Yeah, exactly. You would, if you had an SMMA business, you would manage social medias, run ads for people, and that was it. What differentiated SMMA owners from each other? Maybe their ability to run ads, or
Ability
their
to sell themselves, I think, is
Yeah.
a big one.
yeah, ability to sell themselves. But the mad thing about AI is that there's literally a billion startup ideas. I myself have had way over 100, and I don't know, what I'm interested in is how is that gonna materialize, because they are just endless possibilities, and where is it gonna go to? You know, what SMMA kind of took a shape into what it is today. Dropshipping also took a certain route. How is this game gonna look in a year's time, for example?
Yeah, scary.
Automation
Scary.
or the AI business in general. That's really what I wonder. Like, and it's so accessible. That's also the thing. Is like, I wanted to dropship when we lived in South Africa. You know, when I was at Kes, I wanted to do dropshipping because I saw about it on YouTube. But how was I gonna pay for that? You know,
Yeah, how are you gonna get the
couldn't
budget?
afford that.
How are you gonna get the budget to even make something possible?
Yeah.
And I think with AI now, you can really start a lot with little if you're resourceful. Um, obviously, I think that one thing that if I could teach and say to my younger self, that would have saved me a lot of trouble in maybe the first or the second year of my business career. And that's something that you had, I think, from the start, and even to an extreme that I think we've gotten to a very healthy middle, is you need to spend money to make money. There's no such thing as just a business that you're going to build and you're going to make money. You need to spend money to make money. And if you are willing to spend that money, and whatever it is that you tell yourself to make that okay, all those losses that you're going to take, whether it's like you say, circulating it back into the economy, which is a beautiful way that has helped me. Yeah. I think that helped me a lot. And it is naive to think that you can start something big without a bit of budget. And I think that if that's the one thing I could tell young entrepreneurs, being a young entrepreneur myself, I mean, we're not established big entrepreneurs yet, you know, we're still very new in this and cracking into the space. It is to not be afraid to spend money and not be afraid to lose money. I think that definitely was something and a hurdle for me at the beginning of the business career, where it was like spending $100 on this, okay, $1,000 on ads, etc. And then that's what I was saying about the drop shipping, is then you're spending 30-40K in a week on ads. You know what I'm saying? So it's that, I think, was a big thing. But to your point, in AI, you can start with very little. You don't need, I think, more than €1,000 to start something that you can get a first or one or two clients on. I think with €1,000, you've got budget.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's doable. I think it's accessible. I think it's scarily accessible. And I think that's why this space is extremely competitive, because of its accessibility and because of what you said, that there are a billion businesses that can come from this, and there are a billion of new businesses every day born with just the evolution. You know, I mean, every day I feel like we speak about, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see what this can do now? Did you see this new app? You know, and I think that the scariest thing and the worst thing is to not keep up with these things right now. How do you think this is going to impact, in general, industries? Like, I mean, both you and me now have a university degree, which we've struggled with to find motivation to continue and to balance all of it. I mean, we got it done in the time we were supposed to get it done somehow, by God's grace. And a lot of cramming learned at King Edward's the 7th school. But how do you think this is going to impact industries? Like, all the people that are studying right now, our peers, our colleagues, what do you think, man? What do you think, like, about all of this and AI and the impact that's going to have? And do you think it's going to take as many jobs as people are afraid of? Do you think it's going to enhance productivity, which is going to make society function at much higher rates? Or do you think it's going to create a retrograde society of blobs, brains that are just blobs, that you don't have to think for yourself anymore? What do you think?
Well, firstly, I think I have very strong opinions about this, as you know. I think already we are in a
Maybe censor
society.
yourself.
Yeah. Already we're in a society of blobs from social media and
I agree.
complete just a circulation of bad habits that lead to a perpetual endless cycle where people are so, I mean, people our age especially are so indulged in these perpetual cycles that the way I view it right now, if I could visualize it, it's almost like everyone is here and they're all living in their little perpetual cycle, and there's like a handful over here, which is, let's call AI development, where people here are slowly developing technologies every day and building things that are going to shock this 99% of people, but they're all somehow sleeping and they actually don't know. The only way they know is if they stumble across it on their TikTok, like, oh, AI does this. But I mean, what's crazy to me is even software developers who have been coding for years, they don't even know about popular automation platforms. Like, they don't even know what's possible with AI. These are software developers who are in this world of technology, you know? And then I think we normalize how involved we are and how much we know and how it is surrounding us, this world, right? We've immersed ourselves in this world, but I think so many people are miles behind because they're just caught in these perpetual cycles. And I feel like I just view them as this society of everyone sleeping while this giant is being built. And at some point it's gonna flood and people are gonna be shocked. And I don't know how it's gonna materialize, but I personally am, I mean, not afraid because I know I'm harnessing it, but people who are studying degrees, I genuinely, I feel like there should be some sort of warning. Yeah, you should think about the fact that, are you going to study something that will be automated? Because if so, why?
Yeah, if so, why? I think that's a great question. I think it's a great analogy as well. I think that university degrees, if it is going to be a factor and facet in someone's life, I think that universities need to go through a real deep change in their curriculum and at least equip us with the knowledge of AI and training in AI, because a lot of people use just ChatGPT and know ChatGPT,
exactly.
but it is so difficult to explain the vastness of how many tools are out there and how many tools come out on a daily. And I think that if the university doesn't equip us, we are in an archaic system that is teaching archaic skills. And I think that that is something that we need to keep very present in mind, that if universities deem or think they have gonna have a place, you know, I think they need to have a refurbishing of their curriculum to make AI an active participant in this. Obviously, there's fields like medicine, for instance, where it's a bit different, right? Where there will be an integration of AI in certain cases. Like, there's tools that already can analyze lungs and find certain disease in it, right? But I think there's a lot of fields that might remain untouched, but many fields, except blue collar work, which until there's a robot with an AI brain, you know, many fields that and degrees that we study are automatable and are kind of redundant unless it is paired with a stark knowledge of AI, because that's when I think that university degrees will start having more relevance if you are someone that doesn't know what they want to do yet in your life, you know. But I think that in order for AI to not replace jobs, it needs to be put into place to enhance jobs, to enhance us as humans. And there shouldn't be this war between AI and humans. And I think it shouldn't be anthropocentric. Like, I think university shouldn't be anthropocentric. I think it should focus. I think it should focus a lot on. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, brother. And I think it should be focused on creating a sort of cyborg in a sense that
Yeah.
it's like there's a collaboration, you know. I think that with AI and with social media and the internet, I think there has been a beautiful orchestration of, on a more conspiratorial level, I think there's just a beautiful orchestration between social media, AI, and the internet of keeping people blind, of keeping people blind, and of keeping them in a spot where they are under the thumb of, I hate to say it, but the Matrix, for lack of a better word, but whatever you want to call it, it's just too evident. Like, you walk outside now and people are always on their phones. They're completely addicted. Now, think about the fact that before, in order to get your dopamine hits or your happiness or your information or whatever it is that you do get from these platforms, you're on Instagram, you're on social media, you're on all of these platforms. But when you had to write an essay for school, or you have to do your thesis, or you have to do something, your brain in some sort of way is getting exercised, right? Now, you're removing that exercise for the brain, where I'm honestly so grateful that we were born in the age we were born in, because if I had AI in high school, right now, I think I would be a vegetable. Because I wouldn't think. I wouldn't have to think. Right now, I would not be with the mental elasticity that I do possess, because of the fact that you just don't have to. And that's not a dig at anyone in sort of in that scenario, because if I was in that scenario in high school, never am I writing an Afrikaans essay, or never am I writing an English essay or a history essay, bro. Pop that into ChatGPT, tell me, give me a couple of facts about the French Revolution, make it nice, you know, and you finished. But we had to exercise our brains, and that's why I'm saying it's just this beautiful orchestration, because unless you do take the red pill, you know, and wake up and realize AI is here to stay, it's only getting stronger by the minute as we speak. There's advancements. You need to get ahead, or it's going to run away from you in such a way that it's going to create a gap between the rich and the poor, and between the people that are harnessing AI and not, bigger than any gap that's ever been created. And I'm sure that this was also said when there was an industrial revolutions with machinery and factory, right? But I think that this industrial revolution is of a different magnitude, of a different scale, just because of the power and the compound growth of this tool.
And what you said there also kind of highlighted what I meant by everyone, society is just here sleeping. And also, as you said, AI and social media work in tandem in keeping everyone asleep. I mean, now the videos that you're able to produce with AI, we were speaking about it earlier with VO3. I mean, you can make movies just about, and now this is just flooding the media with all of these videos which are going to keep people hooked to their devices, and as a result keep them asleep. And it's in Robert Greene's mastery book, I think I told you about this too, he speaks a lot about how human consciousness came to evolution, and human consciousness was born from the ability to concentrate on something for a longer period of time, to not just have emotions when something happens as a response, but to actually think about something, continue that train of thought, and then develop that into a larger materializing sort of articulation of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, right? And I do truly believe that your ability to concentrate on something helps you evolve. And I think that the opposite holds true too. And now, like you said, if you don't even have to exercise your brain to write an essay or study for an exam, you are on the road to de-evolving and devolution, if that's the word for it. And the scary thing is there's not just going to be a gap in wealth or skills, but a gap in consciousness and actual evolution in a sense. I mean, people who are on the short end of AI, social media, the internet, they're the ones who are slowly devolving, while everyone that's profiting, building, and making money off of it are constantly evolving. And that to me is the scariest thing. Is like maybe our apocalypse is not with zombies or the world coming to an end, but it's just people becoming so indulged in technology and social media, short form content, terrible food, that we end up going backwards as a species, which is kind of scary.
Kind of insane. And I think you can't really rule out the possibility of devolution or de-evolving, as you said. Just as there was the possibility of evolution. Obviously, if you're not a creationist or religious and you believe in that, you know. But I think that's a perfect note to end off this podcast. I think, tune in next time, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Good first.